How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, great. I look great.
What have you been doing? I sent a note to Peter Rosenberg the other day. Send help. Kay looks like he hasn't been outside in days.
We actually went out today with the kids because they're going stir crazy, but pretty much staying home. You know me. I follow the rules.
As you should, especially in this time. So you're practicing safe social distancing whenever you go out, correct?
I hardly ever go out, so I don't have to practice anything. I went
Well,
to a
as
I went to a pizza shop the other day, and I was all very careful, and I ordered like 6 slices, and the guy's cutting the slices, and it was for takeout, and he's whistling as he's cutting it, and I had already paid by credit card because I didn't want to, you know, have them exchange money, and so once he whistled, I said, "Well, I'm good," and I left. I didn't take the pizza.
did you really? Now,
Yeah, he's whistling. He's propelling germs onto the slices.
how many times have you convinced yourself that you definitely have the Rona? Because I know myself. Anytime I sneeze, get a tickle in the back of my throat, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it.
Well, yesterday was probably the first time I really felt it because I was really achy, but I didn't feel sick, but I felt like aches all over my body. But then I'm 59. You'll know one day. 59, you feel aches, Meredith.
I already feel aches. I'm like 10 surgeries deep. Now, I have a fun little story to share with you.
Please.
Your number one fan,
Disco.
Dan Marakovits, Disco.
Right.
Somehow, the man can't work a remote half the time. Love you, Dad. But managed to sign up for Instagram just to watch this.
I love that man. Is he taking
He's the
care?
best, right?
Is he
What's that?
taking care? Is he social distancing?
Yes, he actually hurt his hip. So it was basically forcing him to stay home. But now he's starting to feel better. So we're getting a little worried in the family. We're trying
Dan,
to tell him still,
stay home, Dan.
thank
So
you.
what do you
Maybe
think of
he'll
the beard,
listen to you.
Meredith? Should I keep it growing or what?
I like it. It's a different
Yeah,
look for you. It's a very rugged, outdoorsy with the vest,
yeah,
everything. I
yeah.
like it. I
Yeah, I have
like it.
nothing. I have nothing on from the waist down, but I figured this was the way I could dress now. Don't you dare flinch.
No, I mean, nobody needs to know that. I've been wearing like the same sweatpants for days, but I
No,
wash them. I do wash them, but they're
it's good thing
comfortable.
it's good thing it's not smellogram.
Ew. Do you like what I've done with the set today?
Yeah, but why does it say "see you" backwards? Or
Well,
is that
it's
be?
just the way the photo. So I guess I have to do it the other way. It's
Oh,
right side up here, but it's the.
I'm sorry. Before we all left Tampa, I was going to be on live.
I know. I was gonna
Yeah,
cook you dinner. I was gonna do a whole thing for you, but
I,
hey, this is just as good.
yeah.
Somebody just said you look like Michael Rappaport.
I got that the other day, and I also got Kiefer Sutherland.
Ooh.
The one that I'm choosing to go with was somebody said, "Wow, you actually look a lot like George Clooney with that beard." That's all I needed.
Did you tell Jody that this is what the masses were saying?
Jody said, "You know what? You should keep growing it until we can all go back to living."
There you go.
Yeah,
How did you explain this whole situation? Now I don't have kids. How do you explain this to your kids?
it hasn't been easy. Jody's done it, most of it, but it's just there's a virus out there that gets you sick, and so you can't go close to people and stuff like that. We haven't said anything about possibly death or anything like that, but we said that it's serious, and they get it, but they've owned this out. The one who's really suffering is Jody because the
Which one?
school is sending curriculum. My son's in kindergarten, and Callie's in first grade, and Jody's teaching the entire curriculum to both kids. I mean, because she's like, her, she's a perfectionist, so she's doing it exactly as a teacher would.
Now a concerned viewer here wants to let you know that a beard actually could keep the bacteria or whatever. It could catch it essentially. So
That viewer is absolutely right, but if I don't come near a human being, I don't really have to worry.
well, I haven't been outside in like 3 days. I'll be honest with you.
See, I'm worried about you. I was thinking about this. You have wanderlust. You cannot sit still. You have ants in your pants. So you must
I
be
mean,
going
hopefully not,
crazy.
but
Well, those same sweatpants. You must be going crazy.
it has not been easy. I don't know if you've seen, Susan and I have been communicating a lot. We're trying to stay sane together. I've been calling her a little bit. She's been calling me. We sang happy birthday to her dog Gatsby today. That's where we're at right now.
12th birthday. 12th birthday.
Well, yeah, 12. And it's kind of nice because, as you know, we're so busy. It's go, go, go during the season. You oftentimes don't stop and smell the roses. You don't have the opportunity to talk with a lot of people that you would like to and catch up with friends. So I've really been trying to embrace this moment and use it as a time to catch up with friends that I haven't spoken to in a little while. So that's been kind of nice. Obviously, it's scary what's going on right now. You try not to think of that aspect of it. But a couple of my friends reached out to me and they're like, what are you going to do with this time off? You're like on vacation. I'm like, this isn't a vacation. I'm not leaving my house. Like, that is not what this is. We all want to get back to work. We want the world to be safe. And I'm sure you're missing baseball like nobody's business.
I think it's really going to hit me next Thursday when we would all be in Baltimore for opening day. And the thing I never like in life is uncertainty. I don't like to know. I like to know what's over the horizon. I don't like to guess. And I don't know when this is going to end. I don't know how much we're going to miss. I just don't know. So it's kind of scary, and I'm kind of filled with anxiety. You know I'm a nut anyway, so this is just exacerbating that.
I kind of have an idea. I don't know who was on the schedule. I think it was you, Paul, maybe, and myself. We were supposed to do that game in Baltimore.
Me, Kenny, and David, and you.
I have a great idea. Why don't we all get on a Zoom call, and you guys can do the open, and then you can send it down to me on the field. And, you know, it's like we're there. Kind
you know how hard it is to get David Cohn to answer a text? We're going to get him on
Zoom.
We're going to get him on
He started answering texts now. It's weird.
It is strange. Well, he's isolated.
Oh, my brother just joined. He says hello.
Oh, hi. Which brother?
Duchan. What's that?
I said, which brother?
Danny.
Hi, Danny.
He's in West Palm right now.
What are these people saying? Hello, guys. I'm missing you guys. Is that John Lithgow? Wow. Just aged me 22 years.
Oh, no. It's kind of cool, though. The real-time feature of this, fans are able to reach out. Mike Medvin on as well.
Medvin? Hi, guy. Hi, Mikey.
How did you get Michael to agree to this? Luke Miller wants to know.
There's not much else to do.
I know. It's out of complete boredom, guys. I did prepare a couple questions for you. Would you be down to answer some of them?
Whatever you want, Meredith.
Perfect. Is it weird not having, I see your setup in the back, but not having the video simulcast of the radio show right now?
It is. We worked at, the people at Yes were unbelievable, and we actually worked it out. We got back on the air at 5 o'clock yesterday. So moving forward now, we'll have the video part. Yeah.
I didn't realize that. That is awesome. Yeah. Okay. Don LaGreca or Peter Rosenberg?
Like what? Foxhole or?
Who's your favorite?
I don't have a favorite, but Don's my guy. I've been with him 17 years, so I have to choose length over Peter.
If you could pick, jeez,
edit that.
If you could pick one member of the Yes Network team to be quarantined with, who would it be?
That's just on air talent?
Yes, we'll keep it to on air just to make it easy. Those are most of the people that people know out there.
Maybe you.
I was gonna say. I mean, there's an obvious answer here.
Yeah,
considering you're on this.
That would be you. Yeah, because you're young, you have energy. You keep me alive.
You need someone to go out and get your groceries for you, right?
Well, if you're quarantined, nobody's leaving anything.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
You want to see my camera, Meredith?
I do. Let's check it out. What? I can't.
Wait, where are we?
I don't know what you're doing. Oh wow, you have like a studio light and everything.
Oh yeah, they set it up. We planned ahead.
Must be nice to be Michael K, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's really nice.
We're roughing it over here in Clearwater.
Oh, Jody just said Charlie says hi, Daddy.
Oh, that's so cute. Hi, Jody. I hope you're staying sane with the kiddos.
Charlie, come here.
If you had to listen to one song on loop while quarantined, what would it be?
I sent you something.
Hi,
say
Charlie.
hi to Meredith.
Hi.
How are you, bud?
Probably build me a buttercup. Make me happy.
Aw. Well, you sang that with Callie before, right?
Yes, absolutely.
She's my
Come here,
spirit
Cal.
animal.
Your spirit animal's on the phone. Come here, Callie.
Oh my gosh.
Callie, don't be shy now. We're on live Instagram.
Actually,
Say hello to Meredith.
I actually saw you.
Hey, Callie, what's going on, girl?
Me and Mommy were just on Instagram. And
Oh, you were watching
saw
us?
You.
Yeah?
Ow. Ow.
Somebody said they picked Bohemian Rhapsody because it's like 3 songs in one.
That's
And
true. Or
another
maybe Inagata Davida. It would go on forever and ever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Now, you're particular when it comes to food.
Right.
Hot.
What was the one food item you needed to make sure you had, not knowing when you'd be able to leave the house?
Good question. The easiest thing would be hamburgers. So, you can freeze them. So we ordered a lot of hamburgers, and Jody's had some prepared chicken parmesan too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
If I told you you had to eat sushi or starve during the quarantine, would you actually try the fish?
I tried the starve.
Stop. Come on.
Yeah, I would.
If you weren't calling baseball games, what do you think you'd be doing?
Probably in public relations or maybe advertising.
Now you
Or how about doing a radio show?
Well, that's it. If you weren't in
Oh, so if
media
I
in
wasn't
general.
broadcasting.
Yes, nothing broadcasting.
Callie said I'd be working at a pizza store.
There you go. Not sneezing on the pizza, though. I know that much.
Or breathing.
Or whistling or whatever.
Yeah.
If you've been at Yes since the beginning. You were the first voice. You went through the whole thing. We saw the video the other day of the anniversary of when you guys went on the air. Can you take us behind the scenes of just how crazy that was?
Well, I mean, everything. I mean, we actually did a center stage with Steve Young in January before we were even on the air. So we had something in the can. And then it was just so hectic leading up to it. I don't know how John Filippelli put it all together. I think he had 4 months to put the network on the air. And when we went on the air and they pushed the button, we didn't know if we'd be on the air. And it worked out. But the thing I'll always remember, the thing I sent out the other day that was on YouTube, the night before, Flip kept telling me everything that he wanted me to say on the open.
Yeah.
All the shows that we have, everything like that. And I paced back and forth in my hotel room in Tampa, Callie, over and over and over again, just trying to memorize it because we didn't have a teleprompter. And if you watch that, not knowing what was going to happen, and it worked out. Everything was cool.
Oh, sorry, we lost you for a little bit there. I think you froze up a little bit. But so were you totally nervous though that day? Like, do you even remember doing it, or were you that nervous that you almost blacked out?
I definitely remember doing it because it was so nerve wracking, and when we got it done, the game was easy after that. But I'd never been on TV. I mean, I'd been on TV for MSG, but I was never the guy. And all of a sudden, I'm leading, with Jim Cott of a broadcast. I was very, very nervous, but it worked out.
Now, there is a guy who was a baseball player who quit to become a model. Have you ever considered quitting broadcasting to model?
Well, just underwear modeling, but never for the face. Why are you being mean, Meredith? Why are you being mean? I couldn't be a model.
I'm not being mean. Actually,
you are being. I can see that look on your face.
No, I was going to tell you more about.
She's being mean. Tell her.
Callie, come on. No, I was going to tell you more about the baseball player. It's actually Chrissy Turlington's nephew. So obviously good genes in that family.
Who is that?
The Dodgers prospect.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
so he quit to become a model.
All right, let me ask you a question. I know you're the host here.
Yeah.
Of all the people, let's take me out of it and you out of it. If any of our broadcasters wanted to be wanted to be a model, who would it be? Who could pull it off?
It would probably be O'Neal because he's in probably better shape than maybe even when he was playing. I mean, he works out like 4 times a day. He's always golfing. And the reason I was laughing before was not because of you. It was because remember when we were in Baltimore and there's the picture of Jim Palmer when he was an underwear model?
Yeah.
And I think they put your head on it or Kenny's head on it.
Ow, ow. Wait. I guess I got to talk to Meredith. Bye. Give me a kiss.
Bye, guys.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Okay, good.
Bye, Daddy.
Oh,
Okay.
so cute.
Bye, buddy. I'm sorry, Meredith.
No, do you remember when our graphics people put either, I think it was your head or Kenny's head on
I think it was mine because it would have been the most humorous. Listen, I'm a realist, Meredith. You know me.
I mean, you have plenty of time. You can reenact that photo.
Okay, I'll do it. Now, we'll do Instagram Live tomorrow, and I'll come
Can't
on underwear. Yeah, be great.
Can't wait. Did you see our buddy, our good friend Susan Waldman was quoted in the Post today?
No, what'd she say?
She was talking about Cuomo. And
Really?
agreeing that he is a man that's taking charge and is quite handsome.
He's done a good job being reassuring. It's been somewhat settling when he talks. You know, he's telling you the truth. He's not putting lipstick on a pig, but you feel like he's actually telling you what's going on. So he's been impressive. I don't know if he's good looking like Susan said, but he's been impressive.
I read it and I saw at the very bottom it was like, and Susan Waldman. I was like, what? What's happening here?
So they called Susan that? They just called.
Yeah,
Susan?
I don't know. I can read you the exact quote if you'd like me to find it.
No, I believe you. I'll check it out when we get off.
Okay. You've got a lot of baseballs back there. Most prized baseball. Are those just props or are those all signed?
Those are all signed. The bottom ones are all broadcasters, Vin Scully and Ernie Harwell and things like that. And the other ones are different balls that I've gotten over the years.
Very cool. Is there one piece of memorabilia that you really hold dear to your heart?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay. Michael said he's getting the memorabilia, but he's probably just piecing out on the Insta Live. Just kidding. Just kidding. But keep your questions coming down here.
All right, so I told the story on the radio. I used to go to bat day as a kid. I was a big Yankee fan growing up, and they used to give out bats with the players' names on it. But they had every single player, though. Like you could get a Jerry Kenny bat, a Gene Michael bat. I love Bobby Mercer. I wanted a Bobby Mercer. I never got a Bobby Mercer bat. I'd get a Roy White bat. And I told this story once on the air, and one day the Yankees had, they always have bat day, and they didn't have names. It was just a sponsor. And Bobby Mercer, who was working with me on Yes, disappeared for like a half an inning, came back and brought this bat in and said to Michael, "You finally got one, Bobby Mercer."
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it was so cool.
That is awesome.
I love this.
What was he like to work with?
He was great. He was Bobby. He's such a sweet guy, and I mean, it was so strong. I mean, he was my idol. The Yankees weren't great when I was growing up and falling in love with them, and he was like the shining light because he was a great player. Mm-hmm. And it was always broke my heart that he got traded away right before they went to the World Series. But they did get him back in '81, and he did play in that World Series, but they didn't win it. But I know he loved the Yankees so much, and that was kind of neat.
You've had a lot of really great broadcast partners, but when you started on the radio side, you were teamed up with John Sterling.
Yes.
Is there one story that stands out from John Sterling? Whether it's a travel story or just a going to dinner story, he's always just comical. He always has something to say.
Well, John lives in a world that nothing seems to faze him. Like he left me a message. I have to call him back, but I don't think he's like overly freaked out about what's going on in the world.
No, he's not.
He just doesn't worry about stuff. So we were flying on the team plane, and there was a really bad storm, and all of a sudden the plane started to go down. Like it was like a lawn dart, and people are screaming. The players are screaming. The Latin players are screaming, "Ay Dios mío!" I mean, it was. We thought that was it. Yeah. And at one point in the middle of the descent, all the oxygen masks dropped out of the way.
Gosh, I'd be freaked out.
All right, like, and I'm just going nuts. I'm not screaming, but like,
yeah.
John always reads on the plane. And he's got a paperback in his hand. He's holding it like this. And the mask comes down in front of his eyes, blocking the book. And he just goes, oh, and just kept reading. That's the best way I could describe John.
It's unbelievable.
And of course, the plane landed safely. So he was right. We all got nervous for nothing.
He's funny like that. He really, takes don't worry about things that you can't control to a whole new level.
That's
I wish
right.
I could be more like that.
And that's all I worry about is things I can't control. Like people go, you should only worry about what you can control. No, I don't worry about things I can control. I can control it. I worry about things I can't control.
Now, I asked Susan this the other day. Do you have a favorite Yankee that you've covered or been friends with over the years?
Probably the favorite Yankee I covered as a writer and then on the radio side was Mattingly. Mm-hmm. Because he was coming into his own when I wasn't even covering the Yankees, and I really liked him as a fan. And then we got really close, and he really helped my career too, because when all the new players would come to the Yankees, Mattingly trusted me. And Mattingly would tell the guys, that's the guy you talk to. Don't trust anybody else. I mean, what an advantage that is in a clubhouse when the guy that everybody reveres said, that's the guy to trust. So he was great. And all the 96 guys, the early championships, 96 and 98, a lot of them were at my wedding. And I think it's easier when you're closer in players' age. Like right now, I'm not close to anybody's age on the team, so it's hard for me to relate and talk in their language. But in 96, we were all about the same age and going through the same thing, so I feel closer to them.
I always say they keep getting younger, we keep getting older. They just keep replacing it with younger people. And it's funny, Susan said the same thing, Mattingly. She was like, he was the absolute best professional, et cetera, et cetera. Now, what was it like in the early days dealing with George Steinbrenner?
As a writer, it was hard because we didn't have these then. So every day you'd have to put in a phone call if something was happening to George Steinbrenner. So if you were on the road, you'd have to put in a phone call. And you'd get up early in the morning, like 6, 7 in the morning, and you'd leave a message at his office. And then you would wait. You couldn't leave the hotel room. So no matter where you are, you were anchored to the hotel room. And George had timing. I mean, if he didn't want to talk to you, but he didn't want to blow you off, he knew that everybody had to leave for the ballpark at like 3:30. So you'd come back to the hotel after the game at like midnight, and there'd be a message, a red light. George Steinbrenner called at 3:31. It's like he knew when you were leaving, but you were anchored to that room constantly. You couldn't leave the hotel room, so it was stressful because you didn't know if he was giving a story to somebody else. But when I became a broadcaster, he was great with me. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, I was always honest and fairly critical as a writer, but he had to approve my hiring on the radio side, and he did, which was, I wouldn't say it was shocking, but I was pleasantly surprised. And then the hardest thing that happened is that when the Yes Network started, and John J. Filippelli wanted to hire me as the lead play-by-play guy, George didn't want to okay it because he liked Sterling and Kay. He kept saying, Sterling and Kay, that's Sterling and Kay that's what works. And Flip finally convinced him, the TV is going to be a little bit more important than the radio. So you could still have both, but have one on TV and one on the radio. So he finally gave in, but he told Flip, if it doesn't work out, it's your butt.
Is there one scoop when you are a writer that you're most proud of? One story, one breaking news element, whatever it might be.
It was probably the last story, one of the last stories I ever wrote for the Daily News. Nobody ever had this. Nobody thought it was going to happen. But the Yankees were looking for a manager after the 1991 season, and it was on the back page of the Daily News. Yankees to hire Showalter, and then I got the radio job shortly thereafter. So that was a big scoop because nobody. And back in those days, Meredith, when you had a scoop, it was like a 16-hour scoop because you couldn't like catch up on Twitter and go, I've confirmed.
Right.
Every other newspaper had to like sit back and take it that the Daily News had that. Buck Showalter. Nobody thought this 34, 35-year-old guy was going to get the Yankee job, and I found out. So it was kind of cool.
Someone just said they miss baseball. Would you be willing to do a Seeee Ya or a home run call? That is your home run call.
I'm going to tell you what this week has been like. So my son has become obsessed with baseball. Aww. Absolutely obsessed. And he has learned how to go to YouTube, and he has found every home run that Aaron Judge has hit. He loves Aaron Judge. So he takes his bat in the living room, and I have to fake pitch to him, but I have to recreate in exact detail the home run. He would say, okay, I want the one where you go track, wall, see ya. I want the one where you go track, wall, there it go. I mean, I've got to do the whole thing, and he runs around the bases. This goes on for hours at a time.
Now, does your heart melt a little bit every time he asks you to do it? Or you like look at him and he's on YouTube and he's listening to your calls?
It does melt, but then like, you know, I kind of had throat surgery last year, and like I have to do the entire call. I can't just, and if I like phone it in, he's going to go, no. You have to do it the way you do it. So I have to really belt it out. So I worry a little bit. But when he first started doing it, here's the story. I don't know if I told you this. My last game until we resumed was on February 22nd, the first game on the air. And I was in Tampa, and Jody had the game on. Didn't tape it. She was watching it live. And I said at the start, it is a gorgeous day here in Tampa, Florida. There's not a cloud in the sky as the Yankees start their 25th season in Tampa, Florida, and they'll meet whoever they played. And, I said it. So when I came home that first time, there were some games on, so he wanted to watch the games. So he's watching the game with me, and the game comes on. He knows all the music. Dun, 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 dun. And so he gets all excited, and then he's off to the side, and he's mumbling. I go, what are you doing? He goes, nothing. I said, what are you saying? He says, well, promise you won't laugh. I said, I won't laugh. Tell me. And he just goes, it is a gorgeous spring day here in Tampa, Florida. Not a cloud in the sky as the Yankees beat the 20. Word for word. He heard it once. That gave me goosebumps.
Now, is your dream, obviously, for him to do whatever it is he loves, but
right, that's the politically correct answer.
Who does a great job, Ian Eagle. He's amazing, right? His son, Noah, is now covering, or was covering, the NBA when they were playing, the head guy for the radio for the Clippers broadcast, right?
Yeah, yep.
Would it be your dream, and they did a little thing once, would it be your dream to do a game in some capacity with Charlie when he's old enough?
Well, let's see. When he's 5, so let's say he's old enough.
Oh boy, I feel like we're going down a path here, aren't we?
That if he does it right out of college at 22, then I guess I could do it. I'd be 76. Yeah, I could do it. I mean, I would love it. But I asked him the other day. I said, "Do you want to be a broadcaster, or do you want to be a baseball player?" He goes, "I want to be a baseball player, and then I want to become a broadcaster." So he's got the Paul O'Neill route down.
There you go. I love it.
I got to show you my favorite picture in my office. Take a walk with me. This, I think you were in the booth for this. Do you see it?
Oh, yes. I love that picture. That is such a good picture.
They were sitting on my lap while I was broadcasting the game, and somebody hit a home run, and I said, "See ya." And Audrey DeWeiss, our stage manager, caught them just as I said, "See ya," and they turned around, and I love it. Very cool.
You want to see my favorite picture?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me find it. Let's see if I can find it. This is my first interview at Yes Network. Sorry, it's
wow.
But that's Rob Riley there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, myself and Derek Jeter. And he signed it for me.
That is very cool.
So it was my first ever interview at Yes back in 2012. And Derek Jeter came up to me and said, "Hi, I'm Derek. Nice to meet you." Or "Nice to see you again." I was like, "Yeah, I know who you are. I've seen you around." Like it. Anything else that's on your mind right now before I let you go?
Whatever you need from me, Meredith. I have nothing on my mind. You know, I'm not that deep.
Oh, you're such a liar. Do you miss me more than the rest of the Yes announcers?
I'll miss you all equally. All equally.
I thought I'd fish for one last compliment, right?
No. But I know Dan. So, oh yeah, I miss her more, Dan.
What have you been binge watching anything? I wanted to ask you that.
You know what? I haven't because by the time my show's off the air, and then like I want to be with the kids for a couple of hours, I'm exhausted by 9. So I watched something on Netflix the other day, which a lot of people have told me to watch, Screwball, about the biogenesis stuff.
Very good, right?
Wow.
Well,
especially with the kids doing all the roles. And the guy that they had that played Alex, I mean, he looked just like Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. It was strong. It was well done.
I actually watched it twice, and I'm like, this is really interesting. This is well.
I might start Succession. You know, Peter Rosenberg keeps telling me that that's going to be great. So, or it has been great. So, and tomorrow, unfortunately, is the last Curb Your Enthusiasm. So that'll be depressing.
Oh wait, that's already started, or it's done?
Yeah, this is the 10th and last episode of the season. You should binge that.
You're good friends with Larry David too, right? Very cool. You know, if you text back and forth with Larry and he wants to come on whatever this is, you know, an Insta Live with me, I'd be happy to accommodate him.
You know what? I'll check in with him. I was going to check in with him today to see how he's doing.
Yes.
Because knowing Larry, he's probably in a hermetically sealed room.
Probably, right?
You know what? If I didn't have kids and a wife, I would be in a hermetically sealed room.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Better safe than sorry, they say.
That's right.
Well, I want to thank you, friend, and I want to give you one last opportunity to tell all the people, and I know you do it on your radio show, how much you are thankful for their support and are looking forward to baseball coming back.
Well, I get a lot of, on Twitter, a lot of people saying how much they miss it, and you can't believe, everybody, how much we miss it. And I know this is going to sound corny. Everybody on the Yes Network, all of us gets along. We all get along. We all really, really like each other. And, you know, I miss being with people that I like, the producer, the director, everybody in the truck. We all really enjoy each other's company. And, you know, that not working stinks, but not being with people that you like to be around, that kind of stinks as well. But for the time being, I think everybody knows that this is exactly what we should be doing for the good of everybody in the world. I know that sounds kind of dramatic, but it is, in fact, the case.
Sure.
And please, those nudniks on Clearwater Beach, what were they thinking? What are they thinking?
So embarrassed for my community. That's not everybody in Clearwater, mind you.
I mean, you probably have a beautiful place right on the beach. You should have thrown scalding hot water on them.
Just dump it on out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was so embarrassed, and I couldn't believe that people couldn't wrap their head around what they were doing. And you know what, Michael? The worst part is they're either going to stay here, right? Or you're going to get on a plane or drive and go back, and college is now out. Everybody's homeschooling. So the majority are probably going to go back and go to their parents' house. Their parents are going to be older. This is who that's going to affect. It's awful.
Well, here's what's going to happen, Meredith. And I said this over and over. Like, the local CBS affiliate interviewed some people. Parents must be very proud. Oh, if I get corona, I get it. Well, when you go home and you see, you know, 94-year-old Aunt Edna, and you kill her dead because you didn't care if you had coronavirus, maybe then it'll sink in. I mean, I know when I was young, I probably did stupid things, but not like that. Where are their parents? I mean, how were they raised? I wouldn't let my kids out of the house.
Oh, brutal. Brutal, 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 brutal. Well, friends, thank you so much for joining me. I hope I didn't ruin your voice too much on a Saturday. Is it Saturday? I don't even know what day.
What difference does it make? It's a day.
Does it matter?
No.
I'll be here. If you get bored, feel free to come back on anytime.
You want Charlie to say goodbye?
Sure, I would love to.
Charlie, come here.
He can give us a home run call too now if he wants it.
Maybe, yeah. Come here.
What?
I want you to do a home run call. Come here.
Oh.
Come here. All right. Do a home run call. Do a Brett Gardner home run call. Come on. You can do it.
Okay.
Here we go.
Fine. I can't do it.
Yes, you could. Gardner swings. Here's a pitch. Gardner swings deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. Okay, you can do that one. Sure.
Here's the bit. Joe deep to center field. Trap. Back. Whoa. See ya.
Yes! That was
Good job,
Charlie.
Charlie.
Thank you.
Good job.
Michael, thank you for joining me. And thank everybody for
Stay.
watching.
Please
You too.
stay in. Stay in. I
will.
know you.
I will. I might go for a walk tomorrow, but I won't touch anything.
Right. Or anyone.
No.
No. That's never a problem with you. You like social distancing.
Been training for this my whole life.
Absolutely. Be well, everybody.